Do your actions match your words? I talk a lot about like what we do, the actions, the choices, doing the work, these kinds of things. And yet I had a moment, literally today, as I was thinking of what I wanted to talk to you about. And the one I saw the other day was, I like voluntary adversity, mental and physical voluntary adversity. And I firmly believe that statement. I truly do. I think that is facing challenges and overcoming them is one of the best ways to stay grounded and connected, and two, it builds grit and discipline and helps you grow and become a better version of yourself and all these kinds of things. It makes you show up as a better man. And it also prevents weakness and slipping into sedation and making poor life choices, kind of thing. And lastly, I think leads to a fulfilled and satisfied life. I don't think there is anything more satisfying, more enjoyable than taking on a task that you're not sure you can do, taking on a challenge that you're not sure that you will come out victorious, and just committing to it and doing the work and showing up and giving it your all, and the satisfaction and joy of a job well done, especially in the physical realm, especially that, and owning that, but also who you become from doing said work, who you become from showing up and doing that job. That's incredible fulfillment and satisfaction, and things that I think we should actively pursue in our lives and in different areas. But in the same moment, in that same thought, there was this little voice in the back of my head that said, is that true? Is that actually true? Do you actually love that? I had to sit with it. And because I've said it a few times, that I think a lot of this is also, we need to have self-introspection. We need to honestly and openly analyze our lives and our choices and what they say about us and what we're actually doing, and if we are making the right choices, the best possible choices for what we want out of life, and if our actions are lining up with what we're saying. And with this one, I had a moment and I thought to myself, and I was like, yeah, I believe it. Yeah, I truly think it's the truth. But I'm not sure my actions right now are lining up with it. I am not sure that I am actually, honestly, actively choosing adversity, and when I am faced with it, overcoming it correctly. I don't think I was or am being that best version of myself. I don't think I am. And that's a fucking problem. And I was thinking about it because, like, let's talk physically. Let's talk about, 126 to greatness, which is where, this all comes from. Let's talk about that. Yeah, I go for a weighted walk every fucking day. Yeah, I do a workout every fucking day. Am I pushing as hard as I could? Am I giving it my all? Am I actually facing adversity in those areas? Or am I ticking the box? I think there are becoming more frequently, and I think that's an issue, days where I am just ticking the box. And I think this can sometimes happen when you get comfortable in those areas. Like, I am getting fitter, stronger, leaner every single day. I am seeing progress in those areas every single day, and I am ecstatic about it. But it does lead a little bit into, well, how much do I have to give? How much effort do I have to put in? Because, well, I'm already winning. And that's the problem when you start winning. When you move out of that pain point, when you move out of that hell, it becomes much, much harder to push yourself, to like punish yourself, to actually give that absolute effort and love that effort. And don't get me wrong, I still do love when I thrash myself in those workouts. But especially due to rehabbing some injuries, I haven't had to face so many of those at the moment. I haven't had to face those type of workouts where I push myself. And so because I'm like, oh, it's just rehab and it's gentle and we're just taking it easy and stuff like that, I've not given my all in the workouts. Yeah, I could push in certain areas. I could still, within the rehab exercises, give it another fucking level, push to it. And I had to remind myself of that today. And so I did. Today I nailed it. Today, like, I'm on those final reps and I am giving every single ounce of energy I have. I'm giving every drop of concentration and focus I can to that. I am leaving it all fucking out there. There is nothing more I could give to that moment. There is nothing more I could push through to that. And I was really proud of myself and happy with that. Because it's been a long time since I literally overcame my muscles. They're shaking and they're saying it's quitting and I'm like, fuck that. I'd fallen into the standard trap of, exercise, where people are like, oh, it's 8 reps. So you do 8 reps. Good fucking job. No, the point is to push your muscles, is to push them into fatigue. It's to break them down so that they'll grow back bigger and stronger, so that you'll gain strength from it. It is about giving your maximum effort. If you choose a weight that you're just like, oh, I did 8 reps, nothing fucking happened. Look, it's better than doing nothing, but you ain't getting much out of it. So you have to keep pushing. You have to push yourself to see where you can end up, to see what you can create on the back end of that, to see what is possible for you. And this is where you need to get to. And as I said, I'm in a really comfortable spot now. And it's really difficult to continue to give the effort and the drive and the passion when things are comfortable, when things are easy, when things are rolling your way. It's why people who reach a certain level of success either A, just get stuck there and never go any higher, even though we know that they have greater potential, or B, they sabotage and they burn it all down to the fucking ground because they don't know how to get back to that point. They've got to get back to the point where they're like, well, I need to work, I need to do the shit, I need to push forward and dig deep and stuff. They don't know how to do that without their back against the wall. So you need to find a way to dig deep, to be that version of you. And that's part of it. It's an alignment with your words. And we spoke the other day about the dad bod. If your family comes first, you can't have a dad bod. If your family is your number one priority and you love and care and devote everything you have to them, you don't have a fucking dad bod. End of story. And I cop some heat for that. I'm okay with it. I don't really give a shit, to be honest, because I think it's true. I think it's too much of a cop-out to be like, oh, I don't have to be in shape because I love my family and I dedicate other areas to them. No. Because you love your family, you need to be in great fucking shape. Because you love them, you need to find a way to actually do the work. You need to figure it out and lead by fucking example. You need your words to align with your actions so that you are authentically being the best version of yourself. Because right now, you fucking ain't. You ain't being the best version of yourself. You are not being authentically you. And not, especially those who are close to you, will notice when you're not authentically you. But the world fucking notices. You're not going to get the best out of everybody else that you interact with if you're not the most authentic version of you. People can sense it. People can feel it. They can feel inauthenticity. They can feel when it's not truly you. If you are not in alignment, A, with your words, and B, with your actions, and you're not showing up and speaking your truth and acting as the actual authentic version of you, people are going to know, and your life will never reach that point that you want it to be. You have to authentically live as you are. And I know that this is one of the hardest actions to take. It is one of the hardest things to do. And especially when you have been living inauthentically for so long. You have to step out and you have to authentically be you. And I can guarantee you, when you do this, when you align your words and your actions with not only your words and then you follow through with the actions, but authentically align the words that you are speaking and the actions that you take with who you truly are, not what you think the world needs to see, everything in your life will get better. Everything in your life will improve and become a better version of it. Because they've done studies on this. Being authentic is vibrating at the highest level. It's showing up as the best version of yourself. This is how you live as the healthiest, happiest version of yourself, being authentically you. And it ain't easy, but it's damn well worth it. So we need to start aligning A, who we are, with B, our words, and C, then our actions. Because everything in your life will get better. When people can trust that you are authentically you, and if you say something, that is the truth, and you are going to follow through on it. And this comes into so many different aspects of our life, from being a man of our word to being a man of authenticity, of being truly who we are in every moment. But we've spoken before, things of value, things of worth are going to require difficulty. They are going to require that you give up a bit of yourself, that you give up and you give effort and you give focus and you give determination and you do what is required. No, it's not going to be simple. No, it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worthwhile. And that's worth its weight in gold. Is it worthwhile? Is it worth the choices? Yeah, it is. It is worth everything. And that's why I talk about starting with fitness. Starting with that. Starting with being in great fucking shape. Start at that point. Start at stepping into alignment of that version of you. To be your words and your actions. That if you want to be a great father, a great husband, a great man, the best version of you, if you want to live your best life, any of those fucking things, they all start with getting in great fucking shape. Because it'll all spiral from there. It'll all cascade down from there. If you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to show up and be the best version of yourself in that capacity, things will improve. Things will get better when you're authentically you, when your words and your actions align. Everything will improve if you're willing to do that. As I said, it's not easy. It's not easy to say this. And so I need to be honest and real and roll with myself that my statement of I love voluntary mental and physical adversity is a true statement. But my actions are not confirming that. My actions are not backing it up. I need to find another gear in my workouts. I need to push it on all areas of my training. With my walks. The weights have become too easy. If I put on a 10 kilo weight vest, it's like a joke now. Because I built up that muscle. But I still use this 10 kilo weight vest. And I'm like, no, this needs to be pushed. It needs to be at least 20, if not 30, if not more. That kicks the shit out of me. That gives me a true zone 2 workout that is going to deliver the results that I'm after. Not just the adversity, but on the physiological level, the recovery, the progression, the aerobic capacity, all those kinds of things. It will deliver that thing, the things that I want from it. So I need to fucking go ahead and do that. I need to go ahead and give that because that matters, because that's important, because that's part of who I said I was. In my workouts. And then also in the mental area. I am not pushing through when I don't want to do it. I have not been dedicating and pushing through as hard as I could in the areas that I need to. I have been soft and I have been weak and I've been faced with forced mental adversity. And I have caved. Therefore, I need to work on creating voluntarily mental adversity to retrain that muscle. Clearly, somewhere along that lines, that area of my dedication has faltered. So yeah, I can say it all I want, but my actions and my reality are speaking a different language. They are saying that that isn't true, that I am willing to give up on those things if it gets too difficult. So I need to cut that shit out. I need to authentically live as my best version. And I know it better than anyone else out there, that when I am authentically me, when I truly step into the man I am, everything in my life gets better. Every area of my life improves. Every aspect of my life shows up in a different manner. Everything gets better if I show up that way. When I'm authentically me, I live in alignment. I live as a man who keeps his word. I am a man of my word. I know that people respond differently to me. My children respond differently. My wife responds differently. My life responds differently. The universe responds differently. When I own that and I step into that power, my life is better for it. And I need to start acting like that. I need to also make sure that I more regularly take a step back and have that introspection and go, am I truly this man? Am I truly living up to the best version of myself? Being the best version of myself. Being authentic, A, to myself, B, to my words, and C, with my actions. Am I being that guy? And if the answer isn't a resounding fuck yes, then I need to take time and analyze why it isn't, what I'm doing wrong, and how I could make it better, how I could step into my own power and show up as a better version of myself. So that's all I have for you today. That's where I'm going to leave you. Now, if you want to step into the better version of yourself, if you want to step up and become the best version you can be, then shoot me a message. Let's get you into chasing greatness. Let's start you on that journey. Let's start having those discussions and start building those habits for you to be the greatest version of yourself. If you're not quite there, click the link in my bio, grab the top 10 tools to transform your mental toughness. And lastly, if this spoke to you, if you enjoyed it, if it made you laugh, or if you know someone else who needs to hear it, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'm here every single day, sharing from the front, sharing my journey, sharing as I go through this process, and sharing the lessons I'm learning, because I want you to avoid the mistakes that I've made, so that you don't have to go through all those trials and tribulations that I went through that are completely unnecessary, so that you can learn and progress faster than I ever did. And I'm just here, a little bit further down the line, still living this life, and I hope I can inspire you to do the same. And I'll be back again tomorrow. Until then.